Hey, what's up everyone? In this video we're going to be comparing the Hoka Bondi 7 against the Asics Glideride. Right guys, so here we go. We've got the Bondi 7, the latest version, the really popular shoe from Hoka. This is one of their most popular shoes. And then we've got my old favourite, the Glideride, which, to be honest with you, is starting to see better days. Don't you think, people, I should get a new pair? Don't tell Mrs. Fordy. But yeah, I wanted to compare them, like I said, because I think it's actually quite a good comparison. And they'll suit different people, but it's worth a versus video, I think. We'll start off with the stats and features, and let's go with the Bondi 7 to start with. This shoe is £125 here in the UK. Obviously, you've got this massive stack height of 33mm in the heel. You've got a 4mm drop overall. The shoe weighs 11.4 ounces, so they're similar weight. So again, that's another reason why I wanted to compare the two. It's got a reworked upper on this shoe versus the old one. You've got this multi-level engineered mesh upper with a number of minor laminated overlays. I'll show you those in a second. You've got this huge slab of EVA foam in it, which isn't the flashiest, the coolest material out there, but it just does what you'd expect. And as being a Hoka, you've got a meta rocker in it, so drives you through your foot transition kind of nice. Then we've got the Asics Glideride, nearly called it the Meta Racer, the Glideride, which you can get for under £100 here in the UK. You've got the guide sole technology in the sole, which is improved cushioning, which reduces muscle load at foot strike. I wish I could speak English. It does this with a combination of the flight foam tech and the gel in there. It's an Asics, so it's got gel. You've got a stiff forefoot and a dynamically curved sole, which increase running efficiency by reducing the movement in the ankle, and that's where the technology is kind of cool. You've got this engineered mesh upper. It's 11.3 ounces and 5mm drop and a 30mm stack height. So it's not a million miles away in terms of stack height, but you just don't get this massive slab of EVA. You get a nice bit of gel in there. Okay, so where do we start? Well, I think you guys know by now how much of a fan I am with the... I can't believe, sorry, these are still wet from earlier. But yeah, you know how much of a fan I am of Asics, the Glideride, and it's a big recommendation out there. I think you guys know now how much I love it. It just soaks up miles. It's brilliant on those long runs. Despite it being relatively heavy, they balance it out really nice, and you don't feel that weight when you're out there. And it's the same really with the Bondi 7. I didn't really notice the weight, I've got to be honest with you, you know. It doesn't feel like you've got that big sort of weight on your foot, despite having this huge lump of EVA foam. Oh, by the way, there's a sort of new overlays on the shoes, very similar to the Clifton 7. What's the best way to describe? Let's start with the uppers are both breathable. This is definitely more breathable than the Glideride. The lacings are, you know, both similar. They do the job. Both have enough foam and padding around the heel area to make it comfortable. I would have preferred some more structure around the heel counter in this shoe. If you look at the Asics, there's definitely more structure around the heel, which helps with the stability of the shoe. I do think they could have added some of that like they did with the Carbon X SPE. Both the rides are sort of non-events. They're kind of just soaking up miles, and there's nothing really exciting about the rides, which I think is what you want on a long run. Yeah, you just want something that's going to eat up miles. But both of the shoes don't really give you a hell of a lot of responsiveness, which you'd expect. The Asics does give you that a little bit more because of the gel and stuff like that. But they kind of, you know, you compare them against other shoes, they do feel a bit sort of flat, if you know what I mean. But that's not a criticism. These are there to soak up miles, okay? But for me, and this is going to be no surprise, I would go with the Glideride out of these two. I said it in the video I did of this, I would actually buy the Clifton 7 rather than this. I just think the Clifton 7, with that little bit less of stack, it's a bit lighter, and it just gives you that bit more feedback. I think it's a better shoe than the Bondi 7. The Bondi 7 is really popular, and I get why it's popular. You know, max cushioning is you know, appealing to a lot of people, but personally I think the Clifton 7 is a better shoe. But for me, out of the two, like I said, it's the Glideride, despite actually, you know, it being a heavy shoe, relatively speaking. They both got these sort of rockers in them, as you can see there. They both sort of, you know, give you a nice heel to toe transition, which is great. But I just think if you're looking at both of these shoes, personally, It's going to be no surprise, but just get yourself the Asics Glideride.